good, y'all? This your boy Black G92. Happy Halloween, y'all. Let me know what y'all got planned for this fine day, of like spookies, festivities, like whether it's like binge watching movies or like going to a function or pass out candies to the kids or whatnot, or participating in a costume contest, whatever. Let me know in the comment section. But right now, like for this, well, I would say afternoon. It's more so late morning. I'm going to do a well. This is I'm gonna do my second attempt at recording a reaction to the top 10 Crocodile movies, which I recorded last night for some fucking reason. It's not on my fucking hard drive. I don't know why the fuck not, because I thought I saved the shit, but it does not want to work with me. So I have to re-record it, and this could be more so a review of said countdown. And like I said before, and I mentioned this in this first attempt, it was quite solid. But we're gonna sit through it, and I'm gonna add some extra commentary that probably wasn't on the previous one, which ended up lost for some reason. So hopefully, when I do save it, it's gonna be on there, and we're gonna get through it in about 3, 2, 1. And by the way, the guy that recorded his videos sounds like a pretty dope person. Man, this video just always just spooks me. Hey, that's nature for you. It's very cool. It's not kind. And gator gotta eat. Top 10
Hey everybody, so
movies.
due to severe quarantine boredom, I decided to compile a list of my top 10 favorite crocodilian movies. I'm a big fan of horror movies and a big...
I feel where you're coming from, man, because that's how I was back in April of last year. Like, shit, when I was at work, I was at the house, man, just binge watching shows and such. And this add on to it, I watched a lot more anime of that last year than I ever did in my life. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but that's how I felt. You know what I mean? I watched a lot more of that than I ever did ever in my life. But
animal horror movies, because animals
they got me through.
Crocodile's one of my favorite animals, and I think they're freaking
Same
awesome.
Here.
So
And
without further ado, let's get started on this list.
Poor doggy. I wonder, are those dogs strays or are there...
Coming in at number 10, we have 2000's Blood Surf.
I remember seeing this.
You, me, and about 30 or so life-snapping sharks.
It was a pretty shitty movie, but had some unintentionally funny moments.
That's what we do, babe.
And some intentional funny moments in it, too.
This movie is about a group of friends going to a remote island to film themselves surfing with sharks. This movie is so bad that it is actually kind of great. Just check out the rest of this trailer.
Now, after surviving the ultimate test of nerves,
this is so
these
2000s.
four friends are about to face
something's not right.
The ultimate test.
What was that?
You ever see anything like that?
Of survival.
Come on, this isn't fun anymore!
It moves silently.
There's definitely something in there. It's not mermaid.
It strikes quickly.
Am I the only one?
The animatronics for the crocodile was pretty decent.
In the water and on land?
Big, huge problem.
Saltwater crocodile, 31 feet long, over 3,000 pounds.
And it's got one huge...
He wasn't hungry, guys. He wanted to kill.
Attitude.
If that thing's still alive, there is no getting off this island.
Blood Surf.
Man, this is gonna be better than... What was the name of that show?
And they used the T-Rex roar, of course, from JP.
So, as you can see, this movie is completely ridiculous and not to be taken too seriously.
Not at all.
However, it does have some good gore and a couple decent practical effects with the crocodile head. It also has some really fun humor, both on purpose and not on purpose. You know, they just sit back, drink, and laugh and giggle. At number 9,
I
we
watched
have
this like
Crocodile
a week
2
ago.
Death Swamp from 2002.
A tropical storm brought down their plane. Now, an
And
unlikely
side note, when I first saw this movie back when I was like maybe 9 going on 10, this movie scared the shit out of me. For some reason, the very first maybe 30 minutes of this movie scared the shit out of me. Like when I first rented it from the shop at when they used to have VHS tapes for rent.
of
Oh man,
survivors are
those were the
trapped in
days.
swamps of Mexico, and they're not alone.
You hear that, man?
Something is waiting. Something is watching. Something is out there.
Take it for the shack!
Now years later though, like years later, I've
This
since
movie
seen
is
the whole
actually
thing.
a sequel to the next movie on this list.
Yeah.
It is really silly and fun, and it's
Yeah.
completely over the top in terms of plot and action sequences. But it's a lot of fun. Again, not to be taken too seriously.
Not at all. More so,
Okay, for number
more
8,
so once I got older, so I just sat through the whole thing like several times since. And yeah, and also the CGI didn't really age that well, in my opinion. But the animatronic of the crocodile, like, still holds up. And but the death scenes are still like still pretty good.
have 2000's Crocodile, which is directed by Toby Hooper, who directed the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist.
Okay. You win.
Should have been fucking with his eggs.
So like I said, this movie is the original version of Crocodile to Death Swamp. However, this movie takes place in California as a group of teenagers try and enjoy spring break. This movie is over the top and silly, but Toby Hooper still manages to give you a real sense of eeriness and dread.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like a teen slasher movie, but with a giant crocodile. The practical effects for the crocodile are actually pretty good. The CGI is a little bit dated, but
Yeah.
or a lot of it
Even
dated,
for
I
the
should
year
say,
2000.
but it provides for a good laugh, and this movie has some pretty good gore and jump scares.
Yeah. That's another one I seen when I was younger as well. I thought it was awesome. I recently watched it a week or so ago, around the same time. More so the same day, or the same night as Crocodile 2. On Amazon Prime. Yeah, CGI looked like shit on this one as
So
well.
Crocodile is a guilty pleasure of mine because I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Same
And
here,
if you
dude.
just don't take it too seriously, it actually can be quite fun. So definitely give it a shot next time you feel like watching a silly movie. All right, and finally we get some great CGI. Given
This should have been higher on the
from
list.
2019, coming in at number 7.
All residents must evacuate immediately.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this sometime going in this week.
Get out.
Because I believe it's on
We
Hulu.
won't be able to come for you.
Yes, I think it's on Hulu. So I'm definitely gonna rewatch this because I only seen it once, a year after it came out on theaters. It was pretty awesome. Special effects were amazing. And
Oh, God. What happened?
So this movie actually gives us a pretty interesting plot. A girl is trying to rescue her dad, who's stuck under their home during a hurricane, and they both end up being stalked and attacked by dozens of hungry, man-eating alligators. The setting of the movie is pretty interesting, being under a house, and it provides some really fun jump scares and like pretty wild action sequences
yeah,
and some really
Emphasis
fun
on
death
wild.
scenes. It's definitely worth checking out. Just look at the rest of the trailer. It's cut together so well.
Hanging on the pipes.
Where's their senses?
I can distract them for you. You got this! You need to go now.
I'm not leaving you here.
terrible way to go. Just imagine having to deal with a like basement full of alligators that's
All
flooded.
right, number 6 is the Australian film from 1987
That'd be the
called
scariest
Dark
thing ever.
Age.
For over 200 million years, the crocodile has roamed the swamplands, coexisting
The trailer
with the
slaps.
land.
This trailer slaps, low key.
Faces its greatest predator.
So Dark Age is about an officer having to hunt down a man-eating crocodile that starts terrorizing the waters near his town. I really like this movie because it focuses a lot on animal conservation and crocodile conservation. Some people in the movie demonize the crocodile and villainize it, and some people in the movie, um, just see it as it's an animal doing what it does. You also get to see some cool crocodile mythology from Australia and see how the like modern civilized mindset might clash with the older indigenous mindset of nature being more valuable.
Very interesting
This movie has
premise.
some really awesome practical effects that I think still hold up today. And it also has a couple of pretty shocking death scenes. One in particular, you'll know which one it is when you watch the movie.
I'm
This
definitely
movie is
gonna check it
basically
out.
if you mixed Jaws with Free Willy, but with a giant man-eating crocodile. It's not so much focused on a crocodile just slaughtering people mindlessly. It's more about the politics and the aftermath of what happens in a town when this kind of situation is happening. It's also very character driven. It has pretty decent acting, and you really care about the characters, and you actually even care about the crocodile. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. I think it's a really underrated movie.
Oh yeah, no, based on the trailer and this description, it looks like the people that made this movie really put their all into this, like, as far as the acting and as far as like the quality. Of course, you can tell it's a film of high quality. So I'm definitely gonna have to check this film out. Let me know where I can find it as far as streaming, or I'd have to order DVD.
All right, and coming in at number 5 is the legendary movie from
I heard a lot about this
1980,
movie.
Alligator.
Just have yet to sit
This
through the whole thing.
movie kind of perpetuated the myth that if you flush alligator down the toilet, that it will live in the sewers and stalk everybody. This movie is really fun, and it has some actually really cool like camera work and jump scares. It kind of feels like a slasher movie from the 80s, but with a big alligator. The practical effects still are pretty decent. It does have some funny miniature special effects that are kind of fun to laugh at. But the movie builds genuine tension and actually has some pretty scary moments. I found it really enjoyable to watch. It's kind of like an OG of the genre.
You think
The
came out in the 80s.
storyline is, again about someone flushing an alligator down the toilet, and then 12 years later, it emerges from the sewers, and it's a giant, like 40-foot long alligator that starts
40
terrorizing the streets of Chicago, and it's up to a cop to figure out how to defeat it. It's really fun. It's got some good gore, and if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend going and renting it or watching it online because it's a fun time.
I wonder what streaming app is available on. Yeah, the animatronic does still look good, even though it came out like 40 years ago.
No one will forget.
Mm.
All right, coming in at number
Primeval.
4
This
is
movie's awesome.
2007's Primeval.
Another awesome choice.
Looks to be another mass grave.
So this movie is genuinely inspired by true events about a research team that went to capture the largest Nile crocodile that has ever been seen. The crocodile is real. His name is Gustav. He has killed over 300 people, and he is estimated to be between 25 and 30 feet long. And
He was a hefty boy.
he is considered a legend and a monster in the area of Burundi near Lake Tanganyika.
All that is facts right there.
My God.
Mm.
What happened? What happened?
So this movie takes place in Burundi, Africa, and it focuses a lot on the civil war going on in that area. I'd say it focuses on that just as much as it focuses on the storyline with the crocodile, which I actually kind of like because a lot of crocodile movies are just about the crocodile, and so it's cool to have something else, especially something that represents things that are really going on. This movie is definitely one of the more serious installments of this list. It doesn't have a lot of humor except for what they purposely put into it, and there is some really funny moments from Orlando Jones.
Can't go
This
wrong with
movie got a
Orlando
lot
Jones.
of flack because its trailer insinuated it was a serial killer. I got from the trailer that it was about a crocodile, but a lot of people felt misled. But at the end of the day, it's still a really good movie, and it's high action, and it's quite entertaining with good acting. So definitely check it out because I think it is well worth its runtime.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with this assessment of the film, and also like there's a scene where Orlando Jones' character flees from Gustav through the savannah while Gustav's chasing after him. Like I said, that scene was pretty awesome. Even though we know for a fact that crocs wouldn't just normally like chase someone through the savannah like that, they would just retreat to the water. But for this film's like little story whatever universe, it was great for that scene. It was pretty awesome, and amongst other awesome scenes involving Gustav attacking the people. And the CGI still holds up.
All right, number 3 is 2007's Rogue, easily one of the best
Rogue.
crocodile movies ever.
This movie is awesome too.
So one of the rules of my tour is that you have only one chance to complain about the heat and the flies.
All right, Rogue follows the story of a group of tourists going on a riverboat tour in the Northern Territory of Australia. Their boat ends up being knocked into by something underwater, and they get stuck on an island in the middle of a tidal river. Tidal rivers are just like the ocean, the tide rises and falls. So these people know that they're stuck on this island in the middle of this river, and they realize they are being stalked by a very large, very aggressive, and territorial saltwater crocodile. And they have to figure out how to get off the island and onto the banks of the river without being killed. The crocodile in this movie is so aggressive and scary. They do a great job of making you fear the water in this movie. You don't want characters to get close to it because you know this thing is just going to rip them apart. This movie has awesome CGI and genuine, terrifying moments.
Yes. Got his ass. Floop! Yeet!
Rogue is a genuinely terrifying movie, especially in the last 15 minutes. Even on the 4th or 5th watch, that last 15 minutes has me biting my nails on the edge of my seat. It is so terrifying. If you have not seen this movie, you have to go rent it and watch because it is a great time. Even if you're not necessarily into crocodile movies, it's just a good movie with good acting and good CGI. So definitely go and check it out.
A great movie, period. This should have been number 1.
All right, number 2 is.
But this was an
Blackwater
awesome
from
choice too, even though I haven't seen the
As you
whole
can
thing.
tell, 2007
But based
was
on
a
how
good
you
year for
described it.
crocodile movies.
You two take care of each other. We will.
Holidays. Sure beats being in the office.
All right, Blackwater follows the story of 3 people heading home from a Christmas vacation. Every day on their way home, they stop and do an activity, and they rotate choosing the day's activities. They decide to go on a fishing boat river tour, and while they are on this tour, their boat gets capsized by a crocodile, and they become stranded in an island of mangrove trees in the middle of a large river. This movie is based on true events that actually happened in the Northern Territory of Australia. This movie is definitely the most realistic movie on the list. The acting in this movie is really well done. There's some really cool cinematography going on, and there's a lot of claustrophobia. Even though they're in the outdoors, they're stuck in a small area with this, man-eating crocodile, 10 feet below them. This movie actually used a real crocodile to film the movie. There's a couple
Impressive.
scenes during the attacks that they used practical effects, but they used no CGI except for imposing the real crocodile into the shots. It's really interesting, and this movie is genuinely scary, and it really makes you think, what would you do in this situation? This movie focuses on the emotional trauma of the situation
I wonder
just
how
as
they
much
managed
as
to
the physical trauma.
get that
So
crocodile
if you're a
cooperate with
fan
them
of
properly.
drama and horror and animals, it's definitely worth a watch because it is so realistic and genuinely tense and scary. Hence the reason why it is at number 2.
Good choice.
All right, number 1
Great
is Lake
choice for
Placid
number
from
1.
1999.
Classic movie.
I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid in
Same
theaters
here.
and thinking it was just
Well, I didn't
one
see
of
it
the most fun movies.
Well, I haven't seen this movie in theaters, but I've seen it on like HBO and shit, like when it came out on DVD and such. And used to watch it a lot of times when I was like maybe 6 or 7, and it was awesome. The movie's awesome.
I've ever seen. The comedy in this movie is hilarious. The banter between the characters is just as much the star of the show as the crocodile is. The crocodile effects are fantastic. The CGI still holds up today, and most of the effects are practical effects, and the practical effects are actually done by the legendary Stan Winston,
Rest
who
in
did
peace to
Jurassic
Stan
Park
Winston.
and Aliens. This movie is really, really funny. You could really consider it more of a black comedy versus straight up horror. But the tense moments are tense and scary, and the comedic moments are very comedic. It mixes the two genres so well.
Is this the man who was killed? He seemed taller.
Oh my.
And the characters are just the most sarcastic people you're ever going to meet. It's got some good gore, some really great action. It's just everything you could want in a crocodile movie. It's got Betty White. Like, come on. What else can you ask for?
I
If
know,
you have not
right?
seen this movie, you have to go watch it. I think anybody would enjoy it if they saw it on TV or just rented it, even if you're not necessarily an animal horror movie fan. It's just fun. So go out, watch it. It's the freaking best. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I know it was kind of long. It was longer than I expected, but I decided I wanted to show, trailers of each movie. That way, people who actually want to watch them don't have to necessarily go and look up the trailers on their own, unless they want to see it without me talking over them. Let's pause and watch Betty White feed her cow to a crocodile real quick.
Yeah. Pretty awesome scene.
That was epic. We all know Betty White's a bad bitch.
Yes.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for
Definitely
watching
a
this
bad
video.
one.
If you liked it, let me know. Let me know what your favorite crocodile movies are. Please support animal conservation. Crocodiles are scary, but they are predators just doing what they do. If you're scared of an animal, go look it up and learn about it. That's how I got over my fear of spiders. So, yeah, thank you guys again for watching this video, and have an awesome day. Stay safe in quarantine.
Stay safe. Man, what a time to be alive. But yeah, that was the top 10 crocodile movies. Like I said before in my previous recording, before I got lost, it was a great countdown, and I had a lot of good choices in there to have seen, and then a couple of them haven't actually sat through, and one I haven't actually watched. So a lot of good choices in there, and I'd add on some as far as like what I was about to say about Lake Placid. They made now. I don't know why what gave Sci-Fi Channel the idea to make not only 3 but 4 shitty sequels to come out after the first one. Like the first one didn't need a sequel. Like, well, I guess because it had the baby crocodiles in there at the end with Betty White feeding them bread and such. Like, but it didn't need a sequel. I don't think it was necessary to have a sequel. If there was going to do a second one, they could have did a whole lot better. Put some money behind it and use animatronics, mixture of animatronics and CGI like they did with the first. But I don't know. But the second one was just shit though, as well as the other sequels that fall after. They even made a crossover with Lake Placid versus Anaconda, which it was meh. You know what I mean? It's more of what you expect from a versus movie, cheaply done versus movie. And what am I say? Also, I want to add another comment about the Blackwater, like placement on top 2. Like, I wonder how they managed to get the actual crocodile to cooperate as far as filming those scenes. I wonder how they managed to do that, because salties are quite aggressive. You know what I mean? They're not to be taken lightly. There's a reason they're quite feared. Like in the crocodilian family, they're quite feared for a reason. salties are not to be tangled with. Even with experts, like they'll tell you to be cautious in dealing with them. But anyway, that was the countdown. If you want me to do more reactions to countdown similar to this, be sure to post them in the comment section below. And also, if it's your first time watching this reaction video, be sure to hit me up in the comment section. And also hit that like button, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit me up in the not hit me up, but also follow me on my social media accounts, which will be posted in the description box below. And hit that donation link to my PayPal to help support your boy with living expenses as well as merch. Hopefully, I get those together so I can give y'all some to rock when you're out in public somewhere. Let people know about the channel, Black G92, which is the channel. Let your friends know, let your coworkers know, neighbors, all that shit, man. Let them know about this channel because we going up the last 2 months of this year as well as going into the first 3 months of 2022. We going up and things bound to happen how they're supposed to happen. This your boy Black G92 about to sign off. Holla at your boy. Peace.